before I start this video, AC is now working in this car, and the engine's been cleaned up, and the car is about ready to go in for paint. The AC gave me a lot of problems, and let me talk about them really first. First thing is, I had forgot that I needed a high flow sensor, high pressure sensor. So in this car, there's two pressure sensors. There's a high pressure sensor and a low pressure sensor that's actually on the accumulator. I had no idea we needed this. I didn't think about this. So I ended up going to a shop to diagnose why my air conditioning wasn't working. And they didn't even catch this. They even came and said, we don't know what's wrong with your car. We don't know why it's not working. It was this sensor. And I will tell you, the reason I own two manuals, so in my manual that I used to rebuild this, it didn't have on the schematics this high pressure sensor. When I looked at my secondary manual, which was a newer manual, it said the 94 and the 95 have these sensors. So learn from me. My stupidity cost me $300 to have the system diagnosed to get no results. So you need to have a high pressure sensor on this car. And what happens is the controls, when you turn on the AC in the car, go to this first, then go to this, and then back to the CRM, which is right here. And then they go to the clutch, which is the part that actually turns the, engages the compressor. I had no idea. So I put, did wiring tests, or I tested and couldn't figure out why I couldn't get voltage to this. And well, it was this sensor the whole entire time, and the key and this plug had fallen through, and I didn't even see it. So learn from my mistake, but here are the instructions how to reinstall the AC. We're starting the AC reinstallation on the 95 Mustang. Again, these instructions will work 94 through 95 GT. And I have the compressor still sealed. It's important that you let the oil go to the front seal. So I let it sit for the week like this in the cardboard, so I didn't put a whole bunch of pressure on the clutch. But what they tell you is 10 to 15 minutes before you need to add oil to this, and let it sit at an angle like this so the oil gets to the clutch and to the seal on the front. So mine came with oil already. I'm going to install it with the plug. I will not remove the plug until I attach the hoses. There we go. Other part, the accumulator didn't come with an AC switch, so now I have to put an actual AC switch on it. A little disappointing that the kit from LMR didn't come with it, but part number for the AC switch is PT0202. That I have everything installed, I'm going to go ahead and start the vacuum process. And you know, you'll need to connect to your high side and your low side. There's lots of great videos on this. You can rent a pump. I bought one finally because I got tired of running down to them. But I'm going to go ahead and start with what you'll do is just want to vacuum the system out for 15 minutes to make sure it holds negative pressure, to make sure you installed all the fittings correctly. Praying to God that I did, because it's a pain if you have to troubleshoot it. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and open everything up and go ahead and vacuum it out. Okay, yep, almost down to -30. So at least it's going down now. So I'm going to let this go for 15 minutes. Okay, so I went ahead and suctioned it out for 15 minutes. I'm going to let these gauges sit for about a half an hour. I'm going to see if the negative, if it stays lower pressure. If it does and doesn't go back up to 0, that means I have a good seal on the new system. And then at that point, I will suction it out again for an hour. So as you can see, it's an hour later. Usually it's a half an hour you wait. I decided just to wait the hour. The pressure remained negative, didn't change. That means my system is sealed. That is good. So the next step is now to let it go ahead and now that I know it's good and my seals are good, I'm going to pump it again for an hour. And then after that, I should be ready to start putting a refrigerant back in the system. So I pumped it out over an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and start shutting the gauges off. I want to keep the pressure in the system. Go ahead and purge the system real quick. Basically what I'm doing there is you saw it release the air, and you release all the air until the coolant comes out, so there's no air going back in the system. You can disconnect the high side. You'll not use the high side again, but at this point I can go ahead and start the car, and I can start going on the start charging the system in the car. Turn the AC on and off 5 times or 10 times.
So if you like this video, go ahead and smash the like button below. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell if you want some notifications. See you next time on Chasing Mustangs.
Thanks.
All right.
Great job.
Yeah, I see it like literally every day.